हरीशराभ्यामभिनत्रिधोजसा मुखेषु तं चापि शरैरताड्यत् तस्मै गदां सोऽपि रुषां युञ्चत् तथा पदत्वयि त्रिशिखं गरुत्मते हरीशराभ्यामभिनत्रिधोजसा मुखेषु तं चापि शरैरताड्यत् तस्मै गदां सोऽपि रुषा व्यमुञ्चत्. Yes, Prabhu. तथा पदत्वयि त्रिशिखं गरुत्मते हरीशराभ्यामभिनत्रिधोजसा मुखेषु तं चापि शरैरताड्यत् तस्मै गदां सोऽपि रुषा व्यमुञ्चत्. Synonyms: tada, then; apatat, flying; why, indeed; tri-shikham, the trident; garutmate, toward Garuda; harihi, Lord Krishna; sharabhyam, with two arrows; abhinat, broke; tridha, into three pieces; ojasa, forcefully; mukheshu, on his faces; tam, him, mura; cha, and; api, also; sharai, with arrows; atadayat, he struck; tasmai, at him, Lord Krishna; gadam, his club; saha, he, mura; api, and; rusha, in anger; vyamunchata, released. Translation: there is no purport. By his divine grace, Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: then with two arrows Lord Hari struck the trident flying towards Garuda and broke it into three pieces. Next, Lord hit Mura's faces with several arrows, and the demon angrily hurled his club at the Lord. I will read the text number 10. तामापतन्तीं गदया गदामृधे गदाग्रजो निर्भिबिधे सहस्रधा उद्यम्य बाहूनभिधावतो जितः शिरांसि चक्रेण जहार लीलया. Translation: as Mura's club sped towards him on the battlefield, Lord Gadagraja intercepted it with his own and broke it into thousands of pieces. Mura then raised his arms high and rushed at the unconquerable Lord, who easily sliced off his heads with his disc weapon. Text number 11. व्यसूपपाताभ्यसिकृत्तशीर्षो निकृत्तशृङ्गोद्धृरिवेन्द्रतेजसा तस्यात्मजाः सप्तपितुर्वधातुराः प्रतिक्रियामर्षजुष समुद्यताः. Translation: lifeless Mura's decapitated body fell into the water like a mountain whose peak has been severed by the power of Lord Indra's thunderbolt. The demon's 7 sons, enraged by their father's death, prepared to retaliate. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. मूखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं चैतन्यमाधवं परमानन्दमीश्वरम्. So Hare Krishna. So today's 3 verses are very interesting. This is all about the chapter talking about the killing of the demon Naraka. And we have already discussed, I guess, this chapter, everything talks about the killing of Narakasura. Naraka plus Asura, Narakasura. His name is Naraka and then Asura, that means demon. Because of the association of Banasura, he got conscious, spoiled, contaminated, and then become the Asura, means the demon. So here we understand that association is very, very important to all of us. One may be in the beginning stage of the devotion, middle stage, or in the advanced stage. For example, I've been hearing that one of the reasons for King Bharata to fall down, even though he has renounced everything, has so much of attachment and wanted to exclusively do the devotional service to the Lord, but he got attached to a deer. Basically, that deer which is just born, and the mother was caught up by the tiger and it was killed. So he was taking care of that uh, little deer. And then it is said it's an attachment with that deer increase day after day after day. Initially, he thought he will keep it in his ashram, means heritage, and then he was feeding that deer, and slowly, eventually, he started compromising on his rituals, compromising on the devotional part, and somehow he got so much attached that at the time of death, he was only thinking about the deer. And unfortunately, he has to take birth again as a deer. So, one of the reasons here is though one is attachment to the material things, the other thing is not having association of the devotees. So, basically, it is very simple when we talk about the association of the devotees. It is very easy and simple to respect the seniors and the elders, especially Prabhupada and his disciples. It is very simple. Oh Prabhu, oh Maharaj. So that is simple. And taking association with the juniors who are just coming up in the devotional service, that's also very easy in a way that we feel grateful that we got the opportunity to bring them in Krishna consciousness or cultivate them in Krishna consciousness, right? But the most important thing for our progress, okay, one is definitely the inspiration from the seniors, one is definitely by serving the juniors. The other important thing is how we deal with our peers, peer devotees. If that is trained properly, when we can deal with the devotees with all Vaishnava qualities, then our progress is guaranteed. Basically, a person who took birth in this world, especially the conditioned soul, he is having some extent or the other false ego sitting in the heart. And the false ego will be cleansed by various devotional activities, especially when there are clashes between the two devotees, when there are conflicts between the two devotees. That will make one think again and again and again, either positively or negatively or overwhelmingly. Think about the situation, think about the person. Sometimes we may internally we may not, we may dislike the other person, etc., etc. But in the due course of time, when I am chanting the holy name, when I am attentively chanting, when I am reading the scriptures, when we are trained by Srila Prabhupada about the Shastra Chakshu, that means we should think through the Vedic scriptures, purification eventually happens, and that's where one becomes pure enough. So the association of devotees is very, very essential. Unfortunately, here Naraka, who is the son of Bhumi, who is the expansion of Mother Satyabhama, and son of Lord Krishna or Varaha. So, being the child of the Supreme Lord, even he couldn't get spared out if he got an association of bad people. Okay, a demonic person like Banasura. So it's a very great lesson for us that the people around us, whatever they do to us, okay, I mean, in the devotee congregation, we should never make a point to get out of Krishna consciousness or get out of the devotees of the Lord. I can have a great differences between a devotee and a devotee. I might have a difference of opinions. I might sometimes work or deal harshly. I may go and beg him for forgiveness, but I would never ever leave the association of the devotees, because that is one thing which will protect us. I was hearing in one of the lectures that no matter we may dislike or maybe hate sometimes a devotee, but he might be the key contributor for us to go back home to Godhead. At the time of death, maybe he will help us. We don't know. So it is only one thing which will not be allowed in the Krishna's abode is jealous and enviousness. So this entire Bhagavatam begins with Nirmatsarana, right? So as long as one is having envious, jealous, ill thoughts about others, there is a long way for myself to get purified and go back to Godhead. And many times why these things happens, when I hear that because of more expectations, because of undue expectations from others, or expecting some respect, all these things will make us fall prey to such type of um, offenses towards the devotees of the Lord, to the deities, to the devotional service and sadhana, etc. So in today's verse, we see that how Narakasura has created his entire kingdom and fortified with so many things around him, and a Mura demon who was protecting. So, in the ninth verse, we just now read, let me repeat that particular translation. Then, with the two arrows, Lord Hari struck the trident flying towards Garuda and broke it into three pieces. Next, the Lord hit Mura's faces with several arrows, and the demon angrily hurled his club at the Lord. So, Mura demon was having five different faces, and he was just thinking himself to be the strongest of the strongest. It's just like Hiranyaksha before fighting with Varaha. He made so many points in a way that he was offending the Lord. He was saying, oh, he's just like an animal. I can just kick him away. I can just kill him away. He was offending the Supreme Lord. So here, every demonic person, more or less, he thinks, I am always correct. I am always great. I am always perfect. So in the Kali Yuga, because we are all Kali Yugites, right? So we are influenced by these three modes of nature, and there is no surprise if there are any demonic nature hidden in my heart. So there is always a chance that I might become demonic in nature. The people who have mood swings, sometimes good mood, sometimes bad mood, because of the influence of three modes of nature. So it is very, very important in these three verses how the Supreme Personality of Godhead very easily killed this Mura demon. He was very, very strong person. He was protecting the Narakasura and the entire kingdom from outside. He created so many what kind of things, weapons around him. Let me read a few of the things. Very interesting. I was reading magic seals of fortress. You see, he had that so much of energy. His weapons, his arrows, everything he covered so that nobody can enter that kingdom. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. It is Paramatma who can enter anywhere and everywhere with no effort. So he is present in every atom. So we learn from Srimad Bhagavatam in various contexts that how the Supreme Lord is appreciated or glorified as Murari, right? In one of the verses in the 10th canto, we hear that, Samashritaye pada pallava plavam mahat padam punya yasho murare. Punya yasho murare. Here murare is referred, right? So, in that particular verse, when Krishna is considered as Murare, who is the enemy of Mura demon. Mura demon is where he was killed in today's verse. He was very easily been killed. So in that verse, Samashrita ye pada pallava plavam. Plavam means it's a boat. So all of us who are struggling in this material world with all vices, with all varieties of desires and attachments and everything, one has to perform the devotional service. Take shelter of this boat, lotus feet, pada pallava plavam. Right? Mahat padam is not ordinary feet. It's a greatest of the greatest shelters. Greatest personalities take shelter of this lotus feet of Krishna Kishore Kishori. Bhavam Bhudir Vatsa Padam 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 Yat Vipadam Natesham. So every step is full of danger. But here we see that those who have accepted the boat of lotus feet of Krishna, who is the creator of entire cosmic existence. He is the maintainer, he is the annihilator, he does everything. Okay, and is famous as Murari, the enemy of the Mura demon. And then the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's hoof print. hoof print is very, very small, little calf, and hoof prints water is so small. Even our general in physical world, the ocean is so big. In a similar way, our material life which we are trying to live here is also like a big ocean. It is like we are dropped in the middle of the ocean. We are trying to sail over, up and down, sometimes drowning, sometimes somebody is picking up, sometimes this way, that way. But only thing, the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee is, a non-devotee thinks, with all my energies I can swim over the other side. Okay, so but for a devotee, he very clearly knows, no, it's not just my alone desire. Desire should be there to get out of this material world, but we should depend completely on Krishna. And here it is said, the devotee's goal is Parampadam. Parampadam is Vaikuntha, and Vaikuntha is a place which is free from all kinds of anxieties. And that's where the devotees of the Lord always takes shelter of the Supreme Lord. So we see that whenever the Lord, okay, is understood by yogis in a different ways, okay, they are still struggling to attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Some people are impersonalism, some people are personalists, right? And of course, in the Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter, in the 5th verse, when Arjuna asked in the first verse that who is better, my dear Lord, some people accept you as impersonal form and some people accept you as a personal form. Then he gives kleshodikaraste sham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavad virivapyate. He's telling very clearly that anyone who worships me with that transcendental form, okay, so only that person attains me easily. But the other set of people, they may come back to me at a very later stages. Ultimately, they'll come back to me. With all efforts, they have to undergo so many ups and downs. Now, when we hear that even devotion appears to be so much of up and down, a devotional service, sometimes I'm chanting very nicely, sometimes I'm not chanting very nicely. But Krishna had given us a list of yoga systems in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, all kinds of yoga systems. Just like if I have to buy a car or anything, I will go into the Google and try to search out, okay, what are the available things, what are the models, what are the benefits, etc., etc. Because we want to choose the best, right? And that's the mood we have. And Krishna knows that. So he is Gnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, and ultimately, of course, Buddhi Yoga is Bhakti Yoga. So in this way, the Lord is helping us to tell us there are so many methods and one may be attracted to one method or the other. So even if one feels devotion is tough, still one should continue his activities of devotion. But a yogi is absorbed. Actually, it is the bhakti yogi who is absorbed in the thoughts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has no other business to think of the Lord always. Smartavyam satatam Vishnor vismartavyam najati chit Sarve nidhi nishedasyur etayoreva kinkaraha. So it is said, the nectar of devotion, that one should always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And any principles given in the rules or regulations, okay, given in the Vedic scriptures, they stand next, okay, they are subordinate to this primary rule. Smartavyam satatam Vishnur, vismartavyam najatuchit. So, even in the 10th canto, 37th verse, when Narada Muni was talking about the horse, Kasi demon, okay, in that thing, there is a wonderful verse actually which I really like. कृष्ण कृष्ण प्रमेयात्मन् योगेशा जगदीश्वरा वासुदेवाखिला वासा सात्वतां प्रवर प्रभो त्वमात्मा सर्वभूतानाम् एको ज्योतिरवेधसाम् गूढो गुहाशयः साक्षी महापुरुष ईश्वरः. So here Narada Muni is telling Krishna Krishna Prameyatman Yogesha Jagadishwaraha. You are not ordinary personality of Godhead, O Krishna. Jagadishwaraha. Jagadishwaraha means he is the Lord of the universe. O Krishna, O Krishna. Aprameya Atman. Aprameya means one who is immeasurable. One cannot estimate the strengths of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is telling, okay, Vasudeva Akhila Vasa Satvatam Pravaro Prabhu. So Satvata means he is talking about all the Yadu dynasty. The people in the Yadu dynasty, they take shelter of Krishna exclusively, right? They're all great devotees of Krishna. So Narada is saying, O Krishna, Krishna, unlimited Lord, source of all mystic power, Lord of the universe, O Vasudeva, shelter of all beings, and best of the Yadus, O Master, you are the supreme soul of all created beings, sitting unseen within the cave of the heart, like the fire dormant within kindling wood. What an analogy Srila Prabhupada writes again. Uh, you are the witness within everyone, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the ultimate controlling deity. You see, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is sitting in the heart. No matter Narakasura may plan so many things, but is also sitting in his heart. Nothing can be hidden from Paramatma. Everything will be naturally revealed. What to speak about, what we do, whatever we speak, even whatever we think, he knows. Because Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. In that verse, he clearly states that I know everything, past, present, and future of all the living entities. I might have come to Krishna consciousness in this lifetime. I don't remember anything about the previous tons of lifetimes. Okay, maybe I was a demon, maybe I was a cockroach, maybe I was a bird, maybe I was a plant. As we hear that 84 million living entities, after 8 millions of lifetimes, one will get the human body. Who knows what I have been? So, Krishna knows everything. It's nothing hidden to him. He knows the present, past, and future. Now presence is very interesting. Somebody may say past, it is hard. Okay, future, it is hard. But what is greatness in knowing about the presence, right? What's great? I am doing something today, I know presently what's happening. What is greatness that Lord Krishna is telling? I know the presence. What he knows? Not only that, what we act, with what mood I am acting, with what motivations I am acting, with what desires I am acting, with what ulterior agenda I am acting, with what consciousness I am acting, all those things are very clearly seen by Krishna. But I can only see, or you people can see only my external talks. But internally, what all going on, nobody can see about it. But here Narada Muni is glorifying Krishna. Oh, my dear Lord, you know everyone, but sometimes you give more time fighting with the demons to enjoy that fight, just like the father fights with the son just for giving pleasure and taking pleasure to the son as well as with himself, right? So he is such an exalted personality, and these are the small demons who are simply trying to fight with you. That is something which is Narada Muni is smiling and laughing and is glorifying the Supreme Lord, that you are going to kill this Chanura, Mushtika, great wrestlers. Actually, Mother Devaki was so frightened seeing that Krishna and Balaram coming for the wrestling fight with those great wrestlers, Chanura and Mushtika. She was afraid. It is said that how can the mother of the Supreme Lord uh, afraid of Krishna himself. What does that mean? So it is said that because of the Vatsalya Rasa, the motherlyhood of Mother Devaki, she considers Krishna and Balram as only children. They have got covered with the truth that Krishna and Balram are the supreme personalities of Godheads. She has completely forgotten by Yoga Maya Shakti, and that's where all this Leela, the pastimes happens. It is said that all the pastimes are happening just because of Krishna's mercy. Think about an example of another demon called Putana. Putana uh, disguised herself with a beautiful form, appearing as if she is coming from an heavenly planets, Apsarasa, and then when she enters Vrindavan, okay, in disguise, right? Everybody becomes so mohata. Mohi means attracted to her. Now it is said all the Vrajavasis in Vrindavana, are they ordinary people? Not at all. They are the confidential associates of the Supreme Lord, number one. They are the pure devotees of the Lord, number two. Can a demon cover herself and cheat the pure devotees? Not. And secondly is, you know, even will her cheating in that way, can she win over Krishna? Because Krishna was closing his eyes, even Mother Yashoda, okay, she allowed, Mother Rohini and Yashoda allowed this beautiful lady, thinking that, oh, maybe she is sent from Indraloka, that, she will put some hymns and blessings on my child, and then my child will become much more protected. That's how the feeling is. How can she even think of entering the personal chambers of Lord Shri Krishna? Impossible, right? Naham prakasha sarvasya, Krishna tells, right? So he is nowhere going to allow any demon to enter in Vrindavan. Now, how does this happen? Is it the mystic power of Putana? No, the Acharya says it is not the power of Putana's mystic power. It is the power of Yogamaya Shakti of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He wanted to play around. He has a plan. He has descended here because of the requests from so many demigods, Brahma, etc. So he has come for some purpose. So because of his Leela Shakti, his energy, his internal potency, which enabled Putana to mesmerize. But actually, nobody can win over Krishna. And Krishna gives the energy to the demons so that they feel happy. Because Krishna is Aham Bija Pradapita. He is the father of all living entities. And the child want to play mischievous. Father will sometimes allow, okay, go ahead and play, but play only for 1 hour. Afterwards, you got to study. That's your study hours. Okay. Father will strictly put a rule. And he want to satisfy his own children. Now there are demonic children, there are devotee children. For the devotee children, he comes and encourages and inspires. For the demonic children, oh, okay, you want to become powerful, you want to capture me, capture me. Actually, in the pastimes of Kaliya, um, the Kaliya's 1,000 hoods, okay, and he's completely controlled Krishna, and Krishna was appearing to Balaram and other Vrajavasis there. Oh my God, what's happening here? This demon is so powerful. Our little Krishna is put into the biggest trouble. Now, what is happening at that very point of time? Krishna is not really captured by Kaliya demon. Kaliya is nothing. Actually, when think about the energies before Krishna, Kaliya, he wanted to teach Kaliya that you enjoy for some time, okay, you capture me for some time, so that I want to see my beloved people other side of the Ganges, sorry, Yamuna river, right? That how they are feeling for me. They're desperately wanting Krishna's back. Desperately they are loving. Their loving for Krishna is increasing and increasing and increasing and increasing. That is what Krishna is relishing. Mother Yashoda is saying, oh my dear Kanaya, Krishna, what has happened to you? Who can protect me? Oh Narayana, who is that? And the moment Mother Yashoda's, her feeling of separation has come to that peak that she will break down, boom, he will come out. Just like, a, what is that called? A spring which has been hold for some time, and then boom, it just comes out. And Krishna, that's how he comes out. Then they see, they get lot of prana, air. Bhagavatam says they get air back, life air back. Krishna, now something is doing. And then they started jumping on the hoods. And jumping on the hoods, he's dancing externally to see, and naturally he's dancing. But every step Krishna is putting on the head, it was just like a thunderbolt. Dum, dum. It was just hitting just like pillars, pillars, and they're coming and hitting the head of the hoods of the serpents. That the Kalia. And the Kalia couldn't tolerate that burden hitting. The body is the same. Okay. Krishna's body, the magnitude doesn't matter whether he's 3 months old or 3 years old or 10 years old, he is having the same Shakti, Leela Shakti. Because of the Leela Shakti, he conquered, conquered in a way, he completely smashed all the energies. And the moment Kalia's wives, who are great devotees of Krishna, they begged, "Oh Krishna, my husband never worshipped you. We worshipped, but you gave the mercy to him, and you please protect him. You have enough made him feel down to the earth now. He cannot." So this is how Krishna mesmerizes everything. And I wonder, how is Krishna's energy is. We are all bound by three modes of nature: sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. We are actually tied up, but we don't see any ropes tied. Okay. Krishna's tying is so invisible that we just can't see it. So he is empowering all of us because we are influenced by the mode of passion. Anyone who is influenced by the mode of passion, he wanted to get a name, fame, he want to be top, he want to be the best, etc., etc. Okay. So once Srila Prabhupada disciple was saying, "Prabhupada, I want to become the best disciple." He said, "If you are thinking best, then you are not going to become best. Best means you are having a ego that you want to become best. No, your whole intention is to please your spiritual master and Krishna. That's all. Best devotee, what do you mean the best devotee? Is there a worst devotee? Nowhere." So the false ego creeps into our heart in one way or the other. But because we are tied up with or influenced by the modes of nature, what is that Krishna is doing? Is enabling us, just like the demons are enabled with the required strength to do all kind of activities to fulfill their desire. Krishna sometimes also enables us with varieties of energies. And I tend to think about, oh, because of me, this whole congregation has become Krishna consciousness. Because of me, this whole thing is working upon. I am this, I am that, and a position. But what is Nectar of Devotion is talking about? Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. So it is very, very important that one should be very, very clear that all this upadi means the positions which we got, it is just Krishna gave us. You have a feeling of becoming something, as we all had. I want to become a mother, I want to become a father, I want to become a president, I want to become an engineer, I want to become a doctor, I want to become so many things. He is encouraging, enabling. But ultimately, when one knows Jivera Swarupohai Krishnira Nityadas, oh Krishna, I'm your eternal servant. You want me to play, I will play. You want me to dance, I will dance. You want me to keep silent, I will keep silent. That is the mood of a pure devotee. If one can cultivate that, then all these positions is not really important. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha. We are there also, it is said, nirmana moha 15.5, right? This moha, this mana, I mean the false ego, the attachments, all these things have to be given up. And once we give it up, we should also give the wrong association. So today's verse, even that Narada Muni was telling that, oh Krishna, you are so easily going to kill this Dantavakra, Mura demon, Narakasura, all the seven sons of Mura demon. Everything is so simple. And finally, his goal was to please 1,000, what is 16,100 women or queens who were captured, right? And in those days, the custom is any woman or a girl before the marriage, she should be under the custody of the father, after that under husband, after in the old age probably under a proper son. But here those 16,100 girls have been kidnapped and kept there. And nobody, when Krishna killed Narakasura, naturally, they were saying, Krishna, there is no one else who will accept us now, because there are three things which don't come in return as it is. Okay, even my grandfather used to say, and we hear, one is a woman. Okay, definitely we should not take chances to um, give the woman under someone else's shelter just like that. There is always a chance that she will be polluted. Number one, the money. The moment we give money in debt for somebody, it will not come. We should beg even. Oh, I have given you $10,000. Can you please give me back? And he will give 1,500, 500, 700. It will not come easily. And another thing he used to tell me is a book. If we give a book to somebody, the paper will be torn out or something. The whole form will be changed. It will not come. Maybe lines in it, something happened. These things, when it is given, it will not come as it is. So one has to be very careful. So anyways, so in this today's thing, 8:32. Okay. So in today's class, the most important thing is Bhaumasura, who is Narakasura, who was influenced by the bad association. We should be always careful with the bad association. Bad association doesn't mean that non-devotees, it also means even within our devotee congregation, whoever is influenced by mode of, of course modes, but enviousness, jealous, fault finding, offenses, all these things, either I may do it unto them or they may do to somewhere else, so I will be influenced easily. So when I'm thinking more about that, okay, I become so. Okay, in the psychology it is said, the psychiatrists say that a person who is thinking about an incident again and again and again, overthinking. For example, you said to me, oh Prabhu, you seems to be an idiot, number one. Okay, and you told it before 100 people. Now 1,000 times I'll be thinking about it. Why did he say that? Why did he say that? That is going to disturb me, overburdened. And the more I start cursing the other person or thinking negative of the person, my conscious is becoming negative, 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 and negative. So then we end up going to a psychiatrist. I mean, in general. So the association is very, very important. And regular reading Srila Prabhupada books, regularly hearing from Srila Prabhupada and the spiritual master will help us come out of this quagmire of problems. So I'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any questions? Otherwise, we can stop. Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna.